is RTV6 News at 6, working for you.
I'm Nicole Griffin. Tonight in Muncie, where a community is coming together to not only remember those killed in mass shootings this past weekend, but to also unite the Ball State community.
Lighting the way and making the community safer one street light at a time. The grateful neighborhood that says it's been a long time coming.
And treating our seniors as treasures. Tonight we honor a woman who works to improve their quality of life every single day. We begin tonight on alert for some potential of some storms this evening. Gusty winds, hail, and some rain could be headed your way. It's already falling in some areas. We could hear it on the roof here at RTV6 Studios.
In downtown Indianapolis, we're getting pummeled here. Meteorologist Kyle Mounts is here to map out who has the best chance of seeing some unsettled weather. Kyle.
Yeah, and it is some welcome rain here after a dry stretch across central Indiana. Just not great in timing as far as lining up with the evening rush hour. It is a fairly narrow band here, now pushing just south of Crawfordsville and I-74. Quite a bit of lightning, some heavy rain. We don't have anything severe out there, and I think the severe weather threat is very limited. You can see some more heavy rainfall continuing into southern portions of Boone County. This line slowly moving to the southeast, moving into Pittsboro here, about 6:15, Brownsburg at 6:24, and then another downpour in Indianapolis with some lightning, heavy rain now on the southeast side of the city, moving into the Fairland area as we get a little closer to 6:20 this evening. TrueCast shows those showers and thunderstorms pretty quickly moving off to the south and east here by 9 o'clock, especially as we get to midnight tonight. We'll see any of those thunderstorms moving out of the area, but there is still that marginal risk covering much of central Indiana and still a slight risk from around Richmond into Greensburg that we could have some gusty winds and hail with a few of those storms this evening. We'll take you hour by hour through your Friday in a few minutes.
Kyle, thank you. 2 mass shootings in Ohio and Texas and a close call in Muncie after an armed student is arrested near a school. They became the reason tonight for a vigil on the Ball State campus to honor lives lost and to connect a community as a new school year begins. RTV6's Nicole Griffin was there.
Standing side by side, a crowd gathering on Ball State's campus to remember and reflect on the lives of 31 people killed in mass shootings in Dayton and El Paso.
This is becoming all too familiar because we are all just folks, aren't we? We're all just muddling through this life and trying to make it better, and our motto should be to respect each other and to realize that this is not normal.
Sarah Mabubi is a Ball State alumna and lives in Muncie. The vigil coming just a day after learning about an armed student arrested near Muncie Central High School makes unifying now more important than ever before.
It's all too close. It's all too close. If you think of humanity as your neighbor, of all of humanity as your neighborhood and your brothers and sisters around the world, that it's all too close.
The purpose of today's vigil was to not only mourn and honor those killed in mass shootings over the weekend in Dayton and El Paso, but also to unite this Ball State community ahead of the new school year.
We have freedom to disagree with each other, but how we're going to do it and how we're going to treat each other with respect, with courtesy, and to have that kind of a community that's supportive even if we're disagreeing with one another.
Adam Beach, the Dean of Graduates, says it's important for the university to respond and provide a space for people to gather and reflect on the events going on in our country, especially knowing how often schools are targeted and knowing there are people on campus having a tough time dealing with the recent shootings.
Some members of our Latino and Hispanic community seeing a community like that being targeted, I think that's just raised the fear and anxiety level.
He hopes people walk away from the vigil at the iconic Beneficent statue today and recommit to the values the statue stands for. That includes treating each other with dignity, compassion, and respect. Working for you in Muncie, Nicole Griffin, RTV6.
And tonight we are learning so far there have been no charges filed against the 15-year-old student found with a gun across from Muncie Central High School yesterday. Police say the investigation is ongoing. They are still trying to determine where the student got the gun.
After those 2 deadly mass shootings over the weekend, federal lawmakers could look to Indiana's laws for solutions. The state's red flag law means a court can issue temporary orders to bar someone from possessing guns if they're deemed potentially dangerous. The 2005 law is typically used in domestic violence situations or people with documented mental illness. But Indiana Senator Mike Braun has been one of the first Republicans to push for a federal red flag law. He cited the El Paso shooting as a case where a red flag law could have made a difference.
The mother of the shooter in El Paso called into the authorities. And what happened? Nothing. You shouldn't need a manifesto put out there before you take someone seriously.
A federal red flag law is still many steps away, but President Donald Trump has signaled his support.
The Anderson man accused of shooting his pregnant girlfriend is now charged in her shooting and the deaths of the twins she was carrying. Skylar White is accused of shooting Alexis Wasson in the head in the early morning hours of August 2nd. According to court documents, White told his mother this was an accident. Wasson's first unborn twin died Tuesday. The second died yesterday. Wasson is on life support, although the police chief says doctors say she has no brain activity.
It took nearly a decade of hard work from residents and city leaders, but one West Side community is celebrating an increase in safety today. The Drexel Gardens Crime Watch group decided back in 2010 it needed better street lighting. Then in 2016, Indianapolis started Operation Nightlight with the goal of addressing this problem. Ramona Ward says her husband, Buds, then spent 2 months mapping out the neighborhood and going out at night to mark down spots that needed attention. Today, Ramona wanted to thank all the city workers who helped her along the way.
For the tolerating me with the monthly questions asking, when are we getting our street lights? Why do the other places have them? As you can tell, I'm not bashful in asking anything.
The local leaders say it was persistence and hard work from people like Ramona and her husband, Bud, that led to the 29 new streetlights being successfully installed in Drexel Gardens. This project will eventually bring up to 4,000 new streetlights to Indy by 2025. A traffic alert for another interstate closure that will start tomorrow night, so start planning your detour now. Beginning at 9 p.m. Friday, I-465 eastbound and northbound will be closed from I-65 to 70 on the southeast side of the city. This closure will last for 15 days and is scheduled to reopen Saturday, August 24th. On September 6th, the southbound and westbound lanes will be closed in the same area for 15 days. Crews will be repairing winter damage.
Hiring Hoosiers is spending the week looking at moving you from the classroom to career. A new college at Marian University has a mission to ensure no one is left behind because of their situation. St. Joseph College just started classes in early July, and a big draw is its Earn and Learn program. At the brand new college through Marian University, students can earn an associate's degree in business administration or liberal arts in 2 years, all while working as paid interns. It's billed as an innovative model which focuses on a combination of classwork and apprenticeship while removing some of the barriers students confront in conventional higher education, namely issues around cost, access, and creating pathways to the workforce. So far, the focus is on recruiting students between the ages of 18 to 24.
I was already searching for a college. I had a couple interests, but St. Joe had been recommended to me from my counselor. So then I had put a little research into it and found out that it was a perfect fit for me.
We want to open the doors to the community to create more access to high quality training and education to create those pathways to work.
$17,000 a year covers tuition, fees, books, meal plan, and parking. Administrators say families can leverage state and federal financial aid. That, combined with the earnings from the paid internships, create a debt-free education model. If you'd like to learn more about the college or to enroll, we have provided links in this story at hiringhoosiers.com. Honoring those who have paved the path for us by giving them the ability to enjoy life.
And that's exactly what our Jefferson Award winner has dedicated her life to. Coming up, meet Vicki Peterson and learn about her mission to celebrate our Hoosier seniors.
How does this sound? Colts game and a sleepover at Lucas Oil Stadium. What you need to know to take advantage of this fun offer for you and your kids. That's coming up.
And we have had some very dry conditions recently in central Indiana. Tonight, though, we are tracking some of those downpours. This is a live view southeast of Indianapolis. You can see that heavy rainfall that is moving through, and Storm Team 6 radar tracking those showers and thunderstorms. We'll let you know what to expect from those and what follows in your Friday forecast. You're watching RTV6 News at 6.
Event going on now at Ashley Home Store.
This is RTV6 News at 6, working for you.
Vicki, for all of the work you do to shine a light on the seniors in our community, congratulations on earning the Jefferson Award for multiplying good. Nominees of the Jefferson Award for Multiplying Good are ordinary people who stand out for taking outstanding steps to positively impact our community. And for years, Vicki Peterson has dedicated her life to her vision of providing the best quality of life to the people who have laid the groundwork of our communities. Because of her selfless heart and drive to serve our seniors, we recognize Vicki for her service.
When we asked Vicki Peterson where she would like to celebrate her Jefferson Award for Multiplying Good, she did not hesitate to invite us to spend time with her family and her friends at Nora Commons, a senior citizens living community. Vicki is confident she is on the exact path she is supposed to be on.
In a nutshell, being obedient to God. And so I think that's how I arrived at where I'm at.
After stepping away from her full-time career as a hairdresser, it hit her one day in 2009.
Times were changing. I was just asking God, what should I do next? And then he deposited me to start the licensed personal service agency. So getting out there, I realized the need for the seniors was so great.
Since then, Vicki strives to keep senior citizens living in their own homes while maintaining a quality of life. She holds events for seniors to enjoy themselves and leads a fellowship. She does a radio program to keep seniors informed about the many resources that they can benefit from. And she provides grocery pickups and rides to medical appointments. She even started her own nonprofit, All Senior Citizens Connect.
Seeing the seniors smile, seeing the seniors come out, the more seniors that come out to the events, the larger my heart feels.
And perhaps the highest point this year was her push to establish the first Indiana Senior Day at the Indiana State House on March 9th, alongside State Representative Robin Shackelford.
The things that she's been able to accomplish, I was really inspired by the work that she did to get that Indiana State Day recognition for seniors. I thought that was just fabulous, something that hadn't been done before. I watched how she provided so many nice events during the day for seniors, because we can't go out at night, you know, a lot, and we still want to enjoy life.
Carol Evans Conley met Vicki in 2016 when Vicki was looking for a business partner for her nonprofit. Carol had retired from her fundraising days until she met Vicki.
I admired so much her vision that she had, and she kind of was thought I could think out of the box, you know, and was willing to take a chance. And so I just said, well, I felt like I had to help her. I said, together we'll do what we can. Everything that Vicki dreamed about doing, it was also my dream and so many other people's dreams. You know, she was just a go-getter. You know, you don't always see the path, but you still follow it.
It's Vicki's willingness to give her time to others and to shine a light on a part of our community that is often left in the dark.
I feel that should not happen, because a lot of us are doing what we're doing, standing on the shoulders of seniors that came before us that made the path easier for us. So I feel that, yes, the children are our future, but the seniors are our past, our history, and that should always be remembered.
It's her empathy, compassion, and dedication that brings so much joy, healing, and happiness to so many seniors' lives.
For me, it's all coming from doing what I'm supposed to be doing. So to be honored for doing something that I feel I'm supposed to be doing is very humbling. Everybody love on a senior. Everyone love on a senior. Every day, find something you can do for a senior.
And along with the help of Vicki's business partner, Carol, Vicki's nonprofit created these great calendars filled with prominent and influential seniors in our community and a familiar face. Barbara Boyd is in there. So they are working on another calendar if you want to support Vicki and her nonprofit, All Senior Citizens Connect. We have a link on our website for these at theindychannel.com, and to learn more information about her cause. And you can nominate someone you know who's making a difference. Go to theindychannel.com, select the menu and the life section, and click on Multiplying Good.
We love Vicki there. Thank you. If you're headed to the State Fair tonight, you still have time to make it to the free stage to see KC and the Sunshine Band at 7:30. And if you're going to the fair tomorrow, here are some of the highlights. Ant-Man meet and greet at noon, 2, 4, and 6 in the Harvest Pavilion. The giant cheese sculpture will be unveiled at noon in the Ag Hort building. The Big Top Circus is at 1, 4, and 7 o'clock. And tomorrow at 7:30, Lance Bass will host the Pop 2000 tour on the free stage featuring O-Town, Aaron Carter, Ryan Cabrera, and Tyler Hilton. How do you like to spend the night where the Colts play? Well, the Colts are inviting kids and families to the second annual sleepover at Lucas Oil Stadium. It will follow the August 17th preseason game against Cleveland. You get to spend the night on the field after the game. The cost is $48 a person and includes a ticket to that game, post-game fun with Blue, a movie on the Jumbotron, and more. You must register online. You'll find a link to do that in this story on the RTV6 app and on our website, theindychannel.com, and spots are limited.
Well, unless you're driving through it, you're probably not complaining too much about the rain that is falling across central Indiana this evening. Now looking north over downtown, you can see another wall of rain there just north of the city. We've cooled down to 82 after some rain in Indianapolis, 84 right now in Bloomington, 86 in Muncie. And we do have a severe thunderstorm warning. Covers much of Hendricks County here, also southeastern Montgomery and southwestern Boone counties until 7 o'clock this evening for some gusty winds of 60 miles per hour. Could also have some small hail within that thunderstorm. Let's show you on Storm Team 6 radars. This is tracking toward the south and east, moving into Danville around 6:25, Avon at 6:34, and Plainfield at 6:37. A couple of additional downpours here north of Kokomo. These continuing to slide toward Highway 35 and also around Newcastle. A few showers for you. That one thunderstorm on the southeast side of the city moving out of Beech Grove at this point, but will continue to move towards Shelbyville at 6:33. And there you can see a little bit of hail in that one as well. So here's a look at TrueCast. As we go through the next few hours, it will take those showers and thunderstorms, push them off to the south and east. So by 10 o'clock, midnight tonight, we're pretty much dry with temperatures that will start off tomorrow in the 60s. But we talked about this needed rainfall. This is just out today. The updated drought monitor, not in drought conditions, but abnormally dry conditions are taking up more real estate across central Indiana at this point. Tonight will dry things out once again with low temperatures, still a little stuffy in the middle 60s. But tomorrow the humidity kind of gets washed out of the air for us. Beautiful day if you're going to be heading off to the Indiana State Fair. That temperature close to 80 degrees for you at noon. We'll get into the middle 80s for that afternoon high. Your high temperature 83 in Lafayette for your Friday, 82 degrees in Anderson. Numbers near I-70 about lower to middle 80s for us. Pretty typical for this time of year, and 87 degrees in Bedford. The good news is it'll feel like 87 and not the 90s because we get that humidity out of here. Then into the weekend. Saturday looking great here as we're going to have more sunshine for the weekend ahead here. Temperatures will make their way into the lower and middle 80s Saturday afternoon, and Sunday things heat up a little bit more. 7-day planning forecast as we put it all together here for you. And on Sunday, just an isolated chance for a shower or storm, but at this point looks like much of the weekend's going to be dry. But look at those temperatures getting back to around 90 degrees for a few days here. Could even get into the lower 90s by Monday before chances for rain do ramp up a little bit, but still only about 30% on Tuesday. So take the rain while you can get it.
It was really coming down out there tonight.
Yeah, you can hear it.
Thanks, Kyle, for that.
Brad Brown standing by with a look at sports. Hey, Brad.
Hey, it is game night, and good evening, everyone. The Colts finally get to see some other faces on the other side of the ball. Preseason game number 1, chance to tackle some different guys. They're playing tonight in Buffalo, but here is a look at some of the guys that will not be playing this evening. They will not dress list. Not a bunch of surprises, really. We will wait a couple of weeks here, perhaps another game or two before we see this year's early draft picks. Let's be honest, it's not all that crucial for most of these guys to be getting preseason snaps at this point. We know Andrew Luck won't be on the field tonight. Jacoby Brissett will get the start at quarterback, probably not much more than the first quarter for him. Coach Frank Reich said on Tuesday that a handful of guys won't play at all. Coach also talked about the pressure on his staff to make some good decisions now.
All these games and us working together and us coming together as a team and picking the roster and us growing and getting better as a staff. I mean, this is not only an opportunity for the players, but this is an opportunity for us to get better as a staff, and we're really take that serious and talk a lot about that. All 3 coordinators are off the charts in that regard, and so this is an exciting time of the year.
One player that could be getting several reps is running back Dante Foreman. The Colts just picked him up on Monday. He had a single practice Tuesday after he was released by the Texans. Missed most of last season with an Achilles injury, but that time away has given Foreman a renewed freshness in this preseason.
people here are great people, teammates, everybody are cool. So I'm just looking forward to it. You know, like I said, it's a humbling experience to be here, being cut by a team that basically was my home team. So you know, I'm here to work. You know, that's my main thing.
Colts return to camp practice in Westfield on Saturday morning at 9 o'clock. The Fever back in action tonight. They have a 7 o'clock tip at Washington. Indiana's going for its 3rd straight win for the first time this season. They're back home Saturday afternoon for a 3 p.m. start against Atlanta. And the Fever are going digital as well. The WNBA will be part of the new NBA 2K20 video game. It will feature all 12 of the league's teams at home courts. Many WNBA All-Stars have been scanned into the game as well, including Candace Parker and Brianna Stewart. So you'll be able to play as the Fever at Bankers Life Fieldhouse. The new edition of 2K will be released on September 6th. Finally today, Connor Daly thought he was just having a little conference call with some fans. Well, it turns out the folks from the U.S. Air Force had finished a deal, so Connor will race the IndyCar season finale at Laguna Seca. Same partnership that he had for the Indy 500. Clearly surprised by the outcome of the call. September 22nd is the date for that final race on the IndyCar calendar. We'll recap the Colts, the Fever, some baseball all for you tonight when we see you at 11. Hope you join us then. Back to wrap up tonight's news at 6 after one more break.
And live out loud.
Who doesn't love s'mores? Tomorrow on The Circle, local chefs will be serving up gourmet s'mores as a fundraiser for the Girl Scouts. This is the 2nd year for the event. Last year, they sold out in 45 minutes, so more chefs and s'mores have been added this year. There will be sushi roll s'mores, PB and s'mores, brownie, s'mores truffles, salted caramel s'mores, and more. It runs from 11 to 1 on Monument Circle. Cost is $5 each, cash only. The goal is to raise $10,000 to make sure every girl who wants to be a scout can participate in hands-on adventures and STEM activities.
And the weather will cooperate. We'll get this rain out of here. Still that severe thunderstorm warning now for Hendricks County until 7 o'clock. Could have some wind gusts around 60 miles per hour with that storm as it moves through. And more downpours. All this winding down by about 10 o'clock.
What is a sushi roll s'more?
I'm
My kind of sushi.
I might go find out.
All right, that'll do it for us. It's 7.